I felt like 18 was about where it should be. I really thought someone would go out pretty quick with 18. Maybe halfway through the second period, but it didn't work out that way.
The sudden death rounds of MLF format really increases the sense of urgency. Can you elaborate on what it's really like out there on the water?
It's kind of hard to describe. Every day is different, but the sudden death round in particular is tough because you've got six anglers trying to hit a target weight, and usually you'll have two or three or four or even more guys, and the weights are really jumping and the fish are really biting, and it's been a big hurdle for me in the past. The sudden death round, I'm a slower, more methodical fisherman, and sometimes it takes me a while to get going. And if you have a slow start, you're out. You can't have a slow start in that in sudden death, obviously. So it's a big hurdle. I think for all the guys, it's challenging. It's pressure packed. It's a completely different animal.
Mark, will you explain in detail what your most productive pattern and baits were?
I'll just talk about two, and the one that really pulled me through today was a real simple little technique. I do it with spinning tackle, 20-pound test braided line, a wacky rig, just a 2/0 hook, and a Strike King Ocho, which is a stick bait. It's full of salt, it's heavy, and you can skip it well. And I was skipping boat docks with that thing, and that was the bulk of my fish I caught that way. Now, in the earlier round yesterday, I caught the bulk of my fish flipping with 50-pound test braid and a 3/4 ounce weight, and I was using a Okeechobee crawl colored Strike King Rage Crawl. And I actually started out with the Rage Crawl today and caught two or three really nice fish on it right off the get-go early, and thought it was going to work throughout the day, but it died. It went away, and so I had to go more finessey with the Ocho to get them in the boat.
This was a really strong group of anglers you competed against. How does it feel to beat them?
It always feels good to beat those guys, they enjoy beating me, and they do that quite often. So every dog has his day, and today was a good day for me. But it's such a stellar group, a very, very stellar group of anglers, out there, and it's funny when you know these guys the way I know them and know their fishing styles. You can almost look at the leaderboard and know what the fish are biting, and that's an advantage. But they are that good, they are that good.
At the conclusion of the second period, you had less than a 1 pound lead over Shaw Griggsby and Mark Groves. How bad do you want to be the first guy to cross the cut line in the third period?
Naturally, you want to be the first guy out and get the pressure off. I was looking forward to going and having lunch, and I really thought I could go out. I mean, I was right there, and it's just like I run into a brick wall. I mean, and it was that way for all of us, and you would feel bad about that. But when you look at that's the great thing about MLF with our scoring. It's slow for you, and you're starting to kind of second guess yourself. But then you can look at the scoring, and you say, well, I'm not getting any bites, but these guys aren't either, and that's the fish aren't biting. And it usually turns around. It's just a slow grind. Gosh, today was tough.
Why do you think it was like that?
These fish, though we think it's fall, it's still summer. I mean, the water's still warm. These fish haven't really gone into their fall, feeding frenzy yet. They're still, the water's still in the 80s, and I think they're biting early and late. They bit early, and then right at the end of the day, they started biting again, and that's typical for summertime.
Mark, fishing in this part of Florida in October usually results in a tough bite. How do you remain focused?
That's a good question, and it's not easy to remain focused. You know, I can tell you now. It's kind of switching gears here. Go back to yesterday as an example. It's the same type bite on Lake Harris, and halfway through the day, I had not had a bite of any kind, and you really tend to lose focus when you're just totally spun out. You've not had a bite, but then you kind of you come to grips with the fact that it's slow, it's tough, it's going to be one of those kind of days, and you get a bite, and then you try to build on it, and then I try to stay focused, and I'm not worried about what anyone else is doing. I'm just trying to get one more bite, one bite at a time, and if you take that approach, at least for me, it helps me. One bite at a time. Don't worry about what the rest of the guys are doing, and I've said this forever. One bite leads to another, but you've got to get the ball, started rolling. Once you get it going, you stay focused and keep it clicking.
So if you could pick any lake in the country to fish an MLF format this time of year, what lake would it be?
Oh man, that's a loaded question because I think it depends on what you want out of it. I mean, naturally, being an angler, I would love to be on a lake where we're catching giant fish and catching schools of big fish. And of course, that's a different ball game. Now we're not worried about getting a bite. You're worried about getting a big bite. So, I would probably pick a lake like my favorite lake is Toledo Bend. And I live on Lake Ouachita. It's a great lake, but Toledo Bend right now is the best lake in the country. It's full of big fish, so why wouldn't I say Toledo Bend? But at the same time, you take a lake like here on the Harris Chain, great head-to-head competition. And whether the fishing, whether we're catching 5-pounders or we're catching 2-pounders, the game's the same. It's all relative, and it's great competition.
Mark, if you could describe the MLF format in one word, what would it be?
One word. Well, this is two. If I could say one, I'd say it would either be hard or pressure, but it's pressure packed. I mean, it's it's a lot of pressure, and it's different because it's different hurdles at different speeds and different heights, if that makes sense. It's not this. Most of the competition that we've done over the years is all the same. Here, it's constantly changing. The sands are shifting on you. So, I'll go back and say again, the sudden death round has always been a major problem for me. I mean, I've gone into them thinking I was going to do really well and wind up not making championships. So I'm real happy to make this one.